Good morning and welcome to Sunrise on this beautiful Friday morning. We're here with Dr. Khanna with the Sunrise with Dr. Khanna show and with Dr. T. And we're here today to talk a little bit about some of the things that her and her partner, Robert Sherrill, are doing in the Nashville area and how exciting it is and how it helps post-incarcerated individuals. So Dr. Khanna, I'll let you introduce yourself and start asking questions.
Thank you very much, Sharon, for having me back again on Friday morning. It's wonderful. Actually, I am in Nashville, Tennessee, and I am honored to be with Dr. T here with her initiative, which she's doing with the post-incarcerated individuals.
Yes.
I know, Dr. T, you have developed some program that helps the post-incarcerated young adults to shape up their life, to restore their lives. Could you elaborate a little bit to the audience?
So my partner, Robert Sherrill, is a returned citizen. And what we realized in his journey in reentry is that there are a lot of hardships and pitfalls that a lot of people encounter that they aren't prepared for. So when they are preparing for reentry, there's kind of like this rose-colored glasses effect to it, right? Like life will be great,
Right.
Things will be easy, you'll be okay. And under the surface of that, we realized that there were some areas that they really needed further development and further education on. So we worked together to create a 15-module curriculum called Transition Pathways that addresses 15 very, very hard areas that they might encounter: employment, finding a place to live, making a plan, anger management, critical thinking, managing and developing relationships, substance abuse, and so many other things. But we're very, very proud of it.
Wow. If I hear you correctly, you said something about anger management.
Yes.
So how do you teach the young adults, especially those who are coming out of incarceration, because they are already internally and mentally angry,
right?
And you know the reason, because the society does not accept them,
right?
They don't see that anybody is going to trust them. So trust is a big issue. So how do you, after all the 15 things you said,
Right.
if I can kind of touch that anger management, how do you handle that?
So we make them more aware of when they get to that place of anger, right? So a lot of times, most individuals end up in the situation that they are in because they've reacted out of emotion. So when you are in that place where you're reacting out of emotion, then what are some things that we can do, some behaviors, some habits, some tips, some tricks that you can say, okay, when I'm feeling angry, I need to do this instead of that. And so it's about becoming more aware of what anger looks like for that person. And then what are some triggers for that anger? So how do you remove yourself from an environment? How do you get yourself out of a relationship that might be a trigger for you? And so it's just because if you don't know, then you'll continue to interact in that environment and you'll continue to be angry. You'll continue to act in emotion. You'll continue to make those same life decisions.
Wow.
So it's just about making sure that they are aware of what does anger look like? What are your triggers? And then what are some things and habits that you can implement on your side to get you out of that?
Wow. That's very interesting. So the audience, if you're listening to this and will be listening to this, especially triggered to the young adults, if you have anger management problem, especially those who are coming out of the jail, please do not react emotionally, because that's a bad thing. You make a lot of mistakes when you act emotionally. What do you think, Sharon?
Oh, you absolutely do. I mean, I see it all the time. And, I have a nephew that's had some issues in the past, and, just getting out in the public a lot of times after, you've been arrested or something like that, and just having people look at you differently, is a really big thing. And just to learn how to be able to, not let that, like you said, set off a trigger or frustrate you or make you angry because you're being treated differently or looked at differently, like you're just a bad egg. I think that's really important. So can you give us maybe one example of something that you recommend that they do in a situation?
I mean, I think the most common one is count to 10, right? So that gives you time to calm your emotions, assess the situation, figure out like, what about it is something that made you angry? What about the situation? What about the comment? What about the thought? Put you in a place that you were angry. And so that's the most common one that you see is take your time, count to 10, assess the situation around you. But we also teach, because this is something that we implement with our youth as well. And we also teach assessing, is this 10 seconds? Is that one thought worth ruining your entire day? Or is it worth ruining your entire life over?
Yeah.
And so what we've seen with the kids that we work with is that they're able to step back and say, okay, this is not worth it. That's what you thought, that's your personal thought. I can't let you control my life. And we teach control the controllable. Your emotions, your anger, that is something that you are personally responsible for. And so if you can control yourself, control the controllable, then you can get yourself away and out of anything.
I think one of the things that I've done, like even I realize this has nothing to do with the post-incarceration side, but you know, when I went through my divorce, I, you know, did a lot of self-help. And one of the things I realized is that, you know, sometimes you react and say something to somebody because they say something to you, you don't know what just happened to them 10 minutes or a day before, you know, did they have a death in their family? Did their dog die? Did, you know, they just get fired from their job? So sometimes I think it's taken into consideration that maybe you need to ask a question before you decide if you're going to be angry. You should really, you know, definitely be angry about something, because you don't know what's causing them to react the way they're reacting to.
And words have power that I don't think that we realize. You know, you can, once you say something, it's out in the universe forever. Like you can say, I'm sorry. You can say, okay, I forgive you, but you'll always remember what someone said to you. And so it is about, that's another part of anger management, not only being aware of your emotions and your actions, but also being aware of how your actions impact others.
Absolutely.
And that is a part of managing relationships. That's a part of moving forward in life and being successful, is that you just have to be aware and really, really be kind and gentle with everyone else around you, because like you said, you don't know what someone's going through. They can have it all together on the outside, but on the inside, they are losing it. And so you have to be more gentle.
Absolutely. Because that's a very good point, because I always give the example that when you are, you know, triggering a gun, when the bullet is out,
it's out.
It's out. You cannot, there's no technology
that will allow you to recall it.
Recall it. Same thing, what you just said. You say something out, and with today's internet, today's social media,
it's out there.
It's out there, will never go away.
Yeah.
So Dr. T, before we end, could you tell the audience and the young adults, what message would you like to give them so that this takes something out of today's morning show?
Your past mistakes don't define you. They're not who you are. We all have done things or fallen short in some kind of way, and you can't live in the past. You can't stay in a place where you created or had mistakes, because as long as you stay in that place, you will continue to carry that forward, and it will continue to impact you. Don't let people around you tell you or make you feel like you're less than because you have made a mistake that everyone knows about. Be more conscious and just be aware that you choose every day to move forward. You choose every day not to allow your past to define you, and you choose every day to look forward to your future.
Great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I'm just going to offer up one thing, because I do a lot of speaking on the power of positive perception. And so I would just offer you the suggestion of, if you are a person who is like really struggling, go buy, you know, a journal at Dollar Tree or wherever, and every night before you go to bed, write down 5 things that have happened to you that day that you're happy about or that are positive. It might even just be that the sun was out, you know, and write one thing about your life that you're proud of, even if it's something that happened 10 years ago. Even if you have to write the same thing every single day, start a gratitude journal, because when you start a gratitude journal, I know how much it impacted me and a lot of the women that I give gratitude journals to and talk to about it. Start today, start tomorrow, whenever, you know, just start. That's all I can say. Same thing with everything that you guys do. I mean, you have to just make the
decision.
You know, make the decision to start.
Thank you very much.
No,
thank you very much, Dr. T. Thank you very much, Sharon. And I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful Friday. Look forward on Monday again.